What's up guys? Today is the day that we are going to crank the boost up on the JZX100. So what I've got in my hand is this fancy little gauge that you guys have seen me use in a lot of my other cars. It's basically an, well technically it's called an Innovate SCG1. No sort of sponsorship or affiliation with the company. Just a really good gauge if you're running stock ECU, which I am in this car and my S13, and was in my Evo, where it's basically a wideband gauge and a boost gauge that has a failsafe built in that you can calibrate to make it cut boost if it's leaning out or over boosting to keep the car safe. So that's gonna go in before we crank the boost up. Just had to put a coupler around it because it was a little bit bigger, or a little bit smaller I should say, than the other gauge that was in it. Wire it up and then crank her up. 2 staples of an LZ build. Ganadors, roof wing. Got that new wing on there. Next up I gotta debadge this thing, but I don't want to do that until Shulman's around with the polisher. But it's looking pretty cool. Love this paint. It's crazy how good they look with kits, but then like you show the part without a kit and it looks like a dumb Camry. It's nice working with a gauge that I'm familiar with. I'm basically going through all the options and setting all my parameters. So spring pressure, I'm not too sure about this, I need to look it up. I know usually you want it a little bit below the spring pressure that you have on the actual gate. That way the boost controller starts ramping up. But boost cut pressure you can basically set to whatever you want. I'm setting it to 18 because I think anything over that the ECU won't be able to compensate. Boost cut just 100%, so it won't do anything. It'll go back to spring pressure. AFR start pressure, this is basically where the AFR cut starts to come into play. So if it's over 10 psi and then the AFRs are above 12.5, it'll cut 100% boost. Shift light stuff I've never used. I don't really know what that means or how it works. But it's a pretty cool little gauge and it's very convenient. We'll start at 10% and I think that that should have us somewhere around like maybe 12 psi. Gain is interesting, it kind of ramps up the duty cycle like midway into boost. We're going to start with none and we can always add it later, and sometimes that helps if you have a turbo that's falling off or whatever. Even though this car's not getting tuned, so it's not like a huge deal to check for boost leaks, we want to get all the power that we possibly can, and I think this is why last night, Alberta, we thought that the turbo sounded a little bit like the old Squealy Boy, because it does have its own little Squealy Boy, and this is probably affecting spool quite a bit. Listen to how bad this boost leak is. Put your hand there so that they can hear it. What? Oh, you ready? Yep. Let me put this back on. Ready? Mm-hmm.
That's the turbo flutter.
That's what?
Flutter?
Tommy corrected me. You are right, Tommy. Because the car's MAF, it's extra important to boost leak test it. Because when you have a MAF car, it's reading the air that comes in. So if you're losing air, it's not good. Where like a MAP car is basically just reading like the actual pressure post-turbo, so it doesn't matter as much if you have a boost leak and the car will still run. This, with a boost leak that big, might not run right. The anticipation's killing me. This is the greatest thing in the world. If you ever want to figure out how to basically slap someone silly without having to hurt your own hands, what you could do is put a little vacuum line. Feel it. No, it doesn't hurt that bad. No, it doesn't.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I guess it actually does hurt kind of hard. Boost leak number 2 found. This is where all my power was going. You ready, Alberta? Can you move it so you hear it?
Go more.
Wow, this is a leaky boy. I guess at 10 psi you don't really notice that much. Alright, so now's the fun part where we get to go take it for a drive and just start keep cranking up the boost until it starts fuel cutting. It's gonna be a fun ride. I set the wastegate duty down to 0. We can't get pulled over, by the way, because I don't have my wallet. I still haven't found it. I know it's at my house though. But anyway, yeah, I set the wastegate duty back down to 0, and I want to see how it is now that it doesn't have boost leaks. Dang, these seats are big and comfy.
God damn, I love these
things. Sounds cool. It's like 10-0 at rev limiter. Oh, we stalled. I wonder if I broke something. Wonder if I like fouled out from rich. Okay, we're good. We're good. There's wires hitting my feet.
I love these seats.
I'll have to deal with those later. Oh my god, there's wires tangled all around the clutch pedal. That's annoying. Oh my god, it spools so much better without boost leaks.
It's loud.
Yeah, but why does it keep stalling? That's like kind of annoying.
No blow off valve.
Yeah, but it didn't do that before.
Like last night?
Yeah. I wonder if the boost leaks helped it?
Probably. I mean, you don't have an IAC.
I wonder if we should raise the idle just so that doesn't happen. Because that's really annoying. Let's go raise the idle.
Alright.
Realized that the MAF just had gotten unplugged. So just as a test, here's another rev limiter bounce to drop. Alright, held idle. Yeah, we just lost the MAF. I noticed as soon as I started pulling out and the car was like acting super funny. Dude, it spools so quick now. Like it feels literally like stock.
Yeah, it feels good.
Why are you, this is not a texting moment. Embrace the goodness with me. Dude, we legit just hit 10 PSI right there. Dude, it's so much faster now. So what are we at? That was 13 PSI.
Oh.
The steering wheel's a little crooked.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, it spools so fast. That right there, that's 14 PSI already. Alright, time to crank it up a bit.
Though, so.
Nah. Alright, so I'm gonna
fuel cut.
I'm gonna go up 4%. It's such a spoolie boy. It sounds so cool. AFRs are high 10s, that's perfect. Yeah, these tires need to be balanced. Alright, so that was 16.4 PSI, still no cut, dude. I'm cranking her up more. I kind of want to do zero tone on the front because it's a little bit twitchy. Yeah, like very twitchy actually. Dude, I love this thing.
I'm kind of feeling some peanut butter carrot.
Oh, some peanut butter carrots, my guy, dude. My guy. Peanut butter carrots, dude. My guy, dude. My guy, dude. My dude. Yeah, dude, so this thing's way better than it was last night. Last night, I literally, like, I remember, I was texting Trevor, I was like, dude, like, I don't know, man, I'm super let down with this thing. Because it, like, not that it's pulled slow, but it just was, like, very meh. And I guess that makes sense when you had 5 gaping boost leaks. 5 couplers that weren't even on. God. Yeah. Boost leak central. Call me Big Boost LZ, or No Boost LZ. Leaky Boost LZ. Alright. So I think we're about to go green.
Yep.
First, second, third, please don't fuel cut. Please don't cut.
Oh, I can see what you mean on the rear end.
The FRs are solid. We lost the gauge though.
K8 and
What's shaking so much? Oh, we only have 14.5 PSI there.
Probably fell off because you went higher.
You're probably right. Probably gonna start playing with the game. Dude, this thing's feeling pretty quick, huh?
Yeah.
14.6 PSI. It's weird that it hit 16 before. I wonder if something's like wired backwards in the boost controller. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We went up to 17, yeah. Feels really pretty quick. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, my guy. Let me tell you though, those wheels definitely could use a little balance. is fine. We just don't want to go high.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like during the pool,
Dude,
I don't want it to be high.
20.4 psi, man. What? Maybe because it's a smaller turbo. You know, people normally do this with a bigger one.
Yeah.
Let's try adding another 2 pounds, brother. I want it to just hit fuel cut. I'm gonna go up 2 more. Still didn't cut.
No, that was 19.
Did it go above? It went above 20 before, didn't it?
Yeah. It went like 20.4.
Oh, you know what?
What?
We just hit the max. We can't go over 20.
Why not?
Because we only get a 10 psi spring. You can only double it with this style wastegate.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. So that means we can go to a bigger spring.
There we go.
Is that cut?
Yeah, that was a cut.
Yeah.
It hit 20. It hit like 20.2. Oh, 21.
So the factory ECU cut right around 21. Okay. That's data I can work with. So like literally with this spring, we can run whatever. Well, I'll need to dial back the pressure a little bit just to make sure it doesn't go over 20. But 20 PSI with a G25 660. I'm curious what it's making for power.
Yeah, real curious because it's literally a bone stock VVTI 1J.
And
it's quick.
Yeah.
Okay, so from being in the R33, it's not far off.
It's this car is not making, well, just because it's gripping, it's not really spinning. But this car is not making over 400 wheel. This thing's like
I could see it.
But it shouldn't be possible. If it is, then like this is a special 1J. I mean, we'll see.
People do it on 3071s.
Should I fill us up with gas anyway? Nah, that's good.
People do it on 3071s all the time.
Not on stock injectors.
Oh, yeah,
the injectors
true.
should limit us to like high 300s.
What if it doesn't have stock injectors in it?
It's gotta. It wouldn't make sense for not to. Both of us are admiring how good and simple this car is right now and how literally I have everything I need to turn this into a really good drift car. But like I don't want to because I really like it and it's nice. But at the same time, like this thing would shred the track so hard.
It would be perfect.
And it's so simple. With the CD gearing too, leading in third at like a skid pad, dude, it'd rip.
It'd be so fun.
It's
But
so
maybe
nice,
we could just replicate it in.
Let's get another.
In a 90.
Oh, you're 90?
Yeah.
I'll just replicate it in your 90 now, huh?
Yeah.
There's no VVTI though, bro.
That's fine. We need to test the turbo on a non-VVTI.
So originally, my plan was to put the G25 550 on and like be able to compare them, but this spools so well. It literally spools, I would say, almost identical to a stock turbo. There's no reason for a smaller turbo on this thing. There's zero reason. I'm not even curious. I don't even want to do it for you guys because it's not necessary. This is so good. Wow.
We put the AC on.
Dude, this thing
nice
is
radio
sick.
going. Well,
all right,
drift with 4 people.
We gotta film some pulls for Trevor. He wants to hear it. This is so much cooler than my Porsche. I like it because I'm driving around with no front bumper. Like it feels like I'm at Abisu. People look at me like, what the heck is this dude driving a big body Camry with no bumpers or side skirts? And I'm just like, yeah. This is me. I am Chaser. Sounds really good. Don't lie. That makes you a little ticklish.
No, I wouldn't.
I get weird when I'm excited. Did I lose your sunglasses? Or did you take them back?
No, I haven't. I wouldn't call it ticklish, but like it does get me a little excited.
The cop was just coming for us.
What?
There's a cop that just heard me.
Really?
Yeah, but he's not coming for me.
You don't know that.
You know why?
Why?
Because we got a rear bumper.
Oh.
And then I leave and I just go, wah, ba, ba. Oh, sand brake works sick. No, I won't. It's faster to coast right now. I think the math just came unplugged, don't you? Hopefully.
I hope. Or pop the coupler.
Yeah. Yikes. Should I just like, where should I stop? Like
Yeah,
here?
Here. Because then people can still go around because there's a median up here.
Yeah, can you hop out?
Yeah.
Probably should have done this first, but we got a little excited. Good old radiator pressure tester whenever you have the cooling system ripped apart and you're doing like new turbo lines and stuff. We do have a small leak, if you can film there, Tommy. Like just onto the actual runners of the manifold. And then one of those AN fittings looks like it either is bad or isn't tight enough. So.
Oh, you could actually see it on him. That little drip.
This is the first time I've seen a car outside with the new wheels and fitment. I do think looking at it now outside where I can see it a little bit better, the front's gonna have to come down, which I can't really do with those tires. So I think I'm gonna have to put a little bit more stretch tire in the front and I can leave the meat in the back. Just looks a little bit high in the front compared to how it was. Funny though, because you know how my car looks at Ebisu, so this is kind of comical to be calling this car high. It is definitely a little bit like raked though. Kind of cool. All right, we're gonna see if we can get the stamp of Alberto's approval. All right, so we got the coupler all fixed up and I want to hear what Alberto thinks. So we'll give it a good old 1, 2, 3.
All right, wanna feel that boost?
It'll be interesting to see if it overboosts or not this time. Because I turned the wastegate duty down a little bit.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Ready?
The peak was 17 PSI.
Yeah, I mean we could probably go up. I don't know if that was us hitting rev limiter or if that was a cut. I feel like that was a cut.
I wasn't looking at the RPMs.
What'd you say?
I didn't look at the RPMs, so.
Yeah, well it was like at rev limiter it like had a cut, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Alright, this is gonna be our next task for tomorrow. Get ready for it.
So it should go second here, but not third.
And that's that. That's how to make an awesome stock 1J, super reliable drift car right here, at least in terms of the engine setup. We're just doing a quick visual inspection to make sure everything's okay. But for now, yeah, I don't think it's anything to be too worried about. It's just when you put a lot of new stuff on, sometimes oil or debris or different type of stuff will just kind of burn off and give you funny smells. But anyway, hope you guys are stoked on this thing. This thing's rad. Very modest, but a very, very fun daily or very, very fun drift car and a very, very simple setup. Yeah?
Budget.
Yeah, it's boiling. Well, we can address that tomorrow. For now, it's starting to get late. We got a lot done today. Definitely a good show on this. And stoked. Hope you guys are stoked, and I'll see you tomorrow.